Okay, guys, this is your boy Nana Scary, the son of a dancer. Welcome to Centa TV. This is a diagram show. On this show, we deal with stories or issues that help to inspire, entertain, and inform the public. Get ready with me. We go to our leaders, prominent people in our community, and have a talk with them. Ask them why they always fight for positions. Sit back and enjoy the journey with us as we move one of our best, honorable James Korsah-Brown. We call him Infantile Cratchy. Yemobi bi akwaba e de ba Centa TV so. Emple bebre no aya amanfo ta bisa se. So, e won panyimfo bi a wo hye echi eboa ma Ghana man no atumpon. E yampa. Enso be de hu. Onto se yakosa mpanyimfo we nchen ni omakodi nkomo. Eno nti in the Centa TV crew ni nyina atutu ya namon aba short pon. Opanyin kese a dodo na anim se ye frɛ no Infantile Cratchy. And the James Korsah-Brown nchen inde aye ne ba betwetwe nkomo tena sikutu na tie na nkomo ho Roma papa kwaba
yenua
papa and then the first time your audience no your viewers ni be bring ehu wo show you so na ya nwa ho ampo de mai send the yanyo opinion kesi bi sei ewo yen show ni so papa be mo makwaba na waka bibi kakra de akire audience no na ya twa yanko di so
yo maso medawase the nwa abomodin na nde wa be mfi ho abaso memfa ma akonye du mfenchi a one viewers in Yala. They've been very, very loyal.
Sure.
I'm able to the office say now I hit more than 1 million views.
Amen.
On social media, so that your streams, your likes, and everything will go up. Now, at the same time, also no, the mention on there, you guys are educating the public.
Sure.
And you are entertaining and informing as well. Information is the most powerful tool currently. Sure. I would say you guys are doing the Lord's work. In one viewers in here, I want to say kudos for a very good work done so far.
Okay. Yeah. Ampa ya papa ne kwete na no kasa no utumu say send your kasa no kwete say he's a man of his words na obo adwuma pa yi. The papa mu nim na some of Ghana Youth Awards. So that was last year I was being nominated. Papa on your ambassador. Penyikesi pa chairman oda no. Ya utumu so obo adwuma o Ghana ha pa yi. And I ban fanteman so a oboa youth ni be bring ama yeniso ade hunu atimi ayeden abamu into with this no mbre ko nenim no ye be brand language no ye be ka pg ye be ka brofo ye be anwara kra ye de be hihiem isan se papa de onam bebia na kasa bia nso wati into no etwa ye ho aba na ye ne papa to ankomodi so I must say. But before no papa, and the questions were open.
Oh, problem.
Yeah, because and then me bano na manfo bisa say ye hwe edwuma wo bo na afo so ye hwe nneoma eda wani ma wo ya edoso but in one you still want to become an MP from Infantile constituency. So my people said I should ask you what inspires you to run for this position.
Maso medase na mafa wa kwenyedo ana wo station ndo nam de chia munuanu ma wo Infantile Yala right from the corners of Kwakrom all the way to Raba Beseno ko Heni to Ishru in Amprinche na Martin de we are saying that the greatest service you can actually render to mankind is serving your people.
Sure.
And in my own very small way, you know, I had an agency called the Korsah-Brown Support Agency, which is like an NGO. Bags, you know, be a bags in a container. na me da aba na ma becha ma mofoma wo in Christ when you bag I would go school. You know, sometimes about Tom shoes, we go America with the Tom shoes, me ba. You know, sometimes we could baby I was you oni ada our friend what's the name? Insu pipe-borne water. And so I them drill a borehole. You know, am I them nyame with my own pocket? Although baby, you the infant man, so you were a lot of talent. We have to find a way to unearth talent. It's better was a Korsah-Brown, why a festival or Bosho. We want to use the opportunity to unearth talent. Nti I've done all this, but in all this, we are trying to serve the people, where we are serving them in a very small capacity. Nti the greatest capacity that you can actually serve the people is through the parliamentary office.
Okay.
As for the MC position, they to be appointed by the president, by parliamentary office to be elected by the people. And every so now I've become more this advancement youth meeting or from youth president.
Yes.
You know, so and I'm advancement so in the album we have about 75 to 80% of them being youth. So if majority carries the votes, then why don't we get a more youthful member of parliament so that that person understands the youth better than anybody else? You understand? So apart from that, based on the work that I've done so far, I had people coming from both MPP and NDC telling me that your own small way you are drilling boreholes, in your own small way you are doing this in your own small way. So why don't you take a larger stage and come and serve us in a better or greater capacity? That is what actually inspired me to go into politics.
Nice one. So to start quick, maybe I say looking at all these challenges, issues that when we say constituency need face now in your own small way, what try say we push it up, or small. So when you're being elected as an MP from Fantimai constituency, what are the criteria I would do to acquire and our plans when I did to acquire at the end of the day, that problems when you are beating me solve.
Okay, yeah, some research kakra on Infantiman constituency. Infantiman, some of the key issues confronting us, one of them is unemployment, youth unemployment especially. For who PA school now, they don't know where to find jobs. Sometimes they find themselves in a crisis. It's not their fault. They should baby it's very, very bad, So youth unemployment is very high. And at the same time, so sikasam what be a business now, I don't know, so say want to when you do baby at least or do when you sika but set up one business. In Infantiman, both of these are not actually available, and there is no hope anywhere. In Urban demand, the crime level will definitely go up. You see a lot of youth on the streets. They go and take drugs, and they become very hardcore and all that. I mean, with these two issues, I realized that with my position as being able to do banking for 16 years, am I a corporate bank? I've been a head of corporate banking for a very long time. I did banking for 16 years. My international syndication, my club lending, my then. Like I've done a lot of portfolio management, managing more than 100 companies and factories. You realize that, if I take that particular position, now I'm able to use that position to lobby them. They can be setting up factories and Infantiman.
Sure.
Sometimes one of the key things they request for is tax waiver. Tax waiver, the only place you can get tax waiver in this country is in Parliament. So if I'm sitting there as a member of Parliament, I can use my position and my connection to lobby for this particular investors. You see, another thing is myself, I'm an investor. So I'm not just going in there.
My problem here now is looking at Infantiman. Work at there sometimes they want to, creating of job near the because when you actually say you have love for the people, the youth, and at the end of the day, you want to see everybody working. So at the end of the way, but one challenge among who on Fantiman is and I'm at on Fantiman is if we are getting land for this kind of project are a headache, sometimes an issue. So how are you going to?
Oh, it's just an excuse. I'll tell you for a fact. I'm not dumb. Otukwa or Dumna Bushanaka. So we have 426 acres
of land.
Wow. Yes. From Afrangwa to away to Afrangwa itself and Francisca. Even part of Francisca land is for us. Anybody who tells you that there is no land for development, the person is just making an excuse. It's not true. Zoom Lion, go to Crampo. They've bought vast land there. So it's just an excuse. You see, one thing I've realized in Infantiman is people always give excuse to fail. And that is not me. You understand? Once you put your mind to something that is what you want to do, and the focus is there, you go through the Gantt chart and you realize it. there is a lot of land. And here I'm in a family. I know another family that has more than 85 acres of land, also close to our place. They're just looking for investors to even partner. They are not getting. Until that one is just an escape. But what happens is sometimes no be the investors who win. Investors, as part of their cost and their plan, what the land cost ashim. Instead of order them land costs is kanobaka me bushano or cooperate land me free. That one nobody will do it. Even me, I'll not do it. You understand? A businessman being you are say all but crewman are the all baby ya or any cost na assassin or the ordinary factory case also one for cost and allocation in financial. No, it's never true. So there is a lot of land. If you I have one cousin who is Rob Photography. He does a lot of drone shots. We've done a couple of drone shots in Infantiman. There is a lot of land. Actually, Infantiman land, just about 10% is occupied. I mean, I've flown from Takoradi to Accra and I've seen Infantiman in the air. You understand? Wow. Yes, I've flown from Takoradi to Accra. I've seen Infantiman in the air. Just about 10% of the land is occupied. Mwakaninya a bush. And if you doubt me, take from Mangisim to Dominasi and look at the land that you see there. Take from Afango Junction to where you see the land. In fact, just about 10% is actually occupied. So anybody who says that there is no land is not true. Anybody who wants land, they should come and see me. They should go and see my family in Ankara. They will allocate land to them to bring factory, of course.
Then after the interview, you have to get me one. I mean, find project.
I mean, once it's industrialization, we are all in for it.
Sure.
Yeah, so that is one part. And the other part is access to capital. In the how do I get access to? And I'm talking about cheap capital because I know companies walk around that they are very expensive. If you want profit in you have to use it to pay them.
Yeah.
And that's not the kind of capital that I'm talking about. I'm talking about capital. You understand? And Amy, with my background, 16 years in banking, I know how to access cheap funding for the people in Infantiman. But already we were for capacity building. Capacity building is making sure that people understand exactly what they are going to get themselves involved in. If people don't understand the basic principle of accounting, bookkeeping, we have to train them. People don't understand the basic business laws, you have to train them about it. Corporate governance, you have to train them. Or something basic. You equip them, you help them to register a company. They take advantage of the business community. That is the kind of leadership I want to offer. You understand? For me, I would love to see people in Infantiman drive good cars and live in good homes. We don't want people to be poor in this constituency because God has given us everything. God has given us salt, has given us citrus fruit, has given us palm fruit. We have cocoa in Abiazi. We used to have oil here. We have feldspar sand, which is this house is made in Ghana. It's made by feldspar sand from Infantiman constituency. Okay. 6 tiles factory, 3 in Takoradi, 3 in Tema, none in Infantiman, 0. Now we have lithium. You understand? Sure. So it's a full business community that needs somebody with a finance background. You need a leader with a finance background to be able to solve this problem so that it gives value to the people. You understand?
Sure.
That is what I actually stand for. And that is why I've come in the center state to do politics.
Okay, so from your statement made, you made mention of capital. And most of the youth will lack what you call financial literacy. So when these people are being given the capital, or maybe they are being trained for some projects and other stuff, how are you going to guide them in terms of having financial literacy mindset so that they can be able to use the capital and use it well?
You see, you've asked a very, very good question, and usually, they are going to hire consultants. Myself, I'm a consultant, and I offer a lot of training when it comes to what's the name? Capacity building, financial literacy. A lot of people going into business don't know the difference between guarantee, indemnity, term loan, overdraft, letters of credit, those for collection. Those are my babies. So I offer a lot of financial literacy training. And you see, when you offer them training now, you don't just leave them.
Sure.
You don't just give them the money. You have to guide them through the process. So if the first part is the person wants to do a pure water factory, okay, machine I want to do a pure water factory, no be or 100,000 Ghana cedis. You don't book the money and pay into the person's account. You have to pay into the company that is giving the machine's account. You understand? Once you do that, you also help them to bring in the machine. But before they bring in the machine, you have to make sure that the groundwork and the setup and everything is done. So what the machine needs to do. When you do that, it is not done. The other issue is you have to give the person access to raw materials. Okay, how much does it cost? When you give them raw materials funding, then within a week or two, what are you expecting in return? So there, you have to be part of the business for like the next 6 months to a year and put the person on a proper trajectory. Miss Mobile, once you leave the scene, the person can actually walk the talk. It's not just about carrying money and giving it to the person. So financial literacy is also not just about giving loans. Obi the person actually needs grants because be a baby or only on a commercial area. It's more like a social area. Into the profitability is not really high. Nipa them they come and the loan as the interest make one. And sure, now the person will start making losses. So you either have to give the person grant. It means that machine allocaton, we probably have to buy the machine for you for free. One more example. Pure water. Beer man we can sell it for 50 pesos. But in Abiaze dominance, you have to sell it for 30 pesos. But it's the same product, it's the same cost.
Sure.
You understand? So it means that we have to find a way to compensate for the cost. So we do a lot of things, and one of them is called the cost benefit analysis simulation. In finance, we call it cost benefit analysis simulation. So we have to be involved in this. We have to train you so that in the next section of your business development, you can actually do it yourself. So today you are manufacturing pure water. We'll guide you 6 months. We leave the scope to you. You run with it for like a year, 2. 2 years, we come back again. We come and do what the people call the condition subsequent.
Mm-hmm.
Afterwards, what has happened? We have to come and check. If we let's say you've been able to take all the blue sheets, that means that we can move to the next step, which is now helping you to set up a bottled water factory. So like my very good friend John Gray is doing. Oil sachet water. I'm praying that within a year or 2, he should be able to do bottle.
Sure.
And once he's able to do bottle, a program BBA is the one we are going to give the business to, so that at least we'll give him some local consumption. So there is always like a link in an unbroken chain that we have to support the people. When you go to markets, people buy kaku.
Sure.
Do you know that they give cash to the people to go and buy the kaku? Sometimes the people come here to take the money. Sometimes they give them the money. They get robbed on the way. But there are financial instruments that you can transfer money from your account to the person's account. Sometimes you don't even need to transfer physical cash. Your bank can give you something called a letter of credit. It's as good as cash that you send to the person, or you assign it to the person and the person can use it or discount it and use it to go and buy the product. There are a lot of dynamics that we would like to introduce, especially when the people give us a nod. But like I'm saying, eventually we want people to rather move from Kumasi and Accra to come and work in Infantiman, because you are going to be part of the business community and move the industrialization agenda forward.
Papa, now say me can't say easy, and my problem now is the reason behind the entire market woman now, especially omoton kakuni adi obi wa obi ukono di sika man no obi wa omo baba gisika no omo de koi. When na make in the beginning say sometimes omo who say transferring of money using the digital and other stuff no omo say that one is a problematic to them. So with these people no waba you want them to achieve all the process I would able to see. How do you engage with them to understand all these solutions now? What they but every man easy
say when you're comfortable, you need to use yourself as a living example. Because I remember Tonyama P outside, and even though I don't put a lot of cash on me outside. It's a cashless society. Nobody puts money.
Okay.
And see, I transfer money directly from my bank account to another AE. The discomfort is they haven't done it before. So you have to show them real time. So you can do like a seminar and get all these market people into a conference room and do a live demo. And we have a lot of bankers here and they all want this kind of business. You see, another thing I like to do is I would like to go to Gambia and meet those that they send the monies to.
Wow.
Because we need to sign an agreement with them. Okay? If we send you money and you default in the supply, we have the police in Gambia who can actually be involved, because we don't want people to be duped. We don't want women to work so hard and their 100,000 is gone and their 200,000 is gone. They're also trying to create employment for the society. But the most important thing is they need the market women need to understand. Master, what I'm saying is not out of place. When I was in the bank, market women in Makola were importing singlets and t-shirts from China. Who were doing those transfers for them? They are not different from our aunties and our mothers in the market who sell the kaku. It's the same thing. They just have to, it's just the comfort. When I become a member of parliament, I'll invite them to maybe a La Femme or what was the name? a Manor Height conference room. We'll have a very beautiful business seminar. I'll talk to them as their leader, a member of that's the MP. I'll run them through exactly the kind of business that I intend them to do. Because you know what? Today they're importing from Gambia. Tomorrow I'd like them to add another business from Belgium. So if they are not able to do the basic ones, then which one actually gives more discomfort? And look at this difference. Going to the bank, putting your money in your account, signing a form, the money being transferred to the beneficiary, or putting the money in your pockets and going through the corridors of Abidjan, going through Liberia, going through Senegal, going through whatever, and now landing at Gambia. Somebody can meet you on the way and just take your money from you, and it becomes a big problem. Or even the people come here, they can run away with the money. C'est tout. My French man will say c'est tout. It's done. You understand? So it's all about removing that discomfort from the people. Once you're able to remove that discomfort from the people, it makes it very, very easy. And when they do one transaction, one thing about market women is there is something called business addiction. When they do one transaction, the rest are all seamless. They will even ignore you. They go to the bank or one of local bank. You see, we owe them a responsibility. There are a lot of banks here.
Sure.
The issue is, when have they been able to join forces together and educate our market women that we have this kind of product papers to help you? How many of them are able to do it? So with my banking experience, that's what I like to do, so that they can also realize value. Because there are a lot of business opportunities in Infantima. I've just used the Kako people as an example. We have another set of people in Abiaze, in Bisafuna Water, what's the name? A palm oil. Yeah, they buy it. They actually buy the palm fruit, then they take it to the mill. They mill it into a jingo, and they mill it to a red oil. They do serious business. You understand? They come to Mankisim, they come and sell, because people come from all over. But sometimes they don't have access to funding. Who is going to help them? It becomes a problem. Sometimes somebody is somewhere, they want to send money. They don't have a business account. They don't have a bank account. You can just put it in their bank account. You just go to STC or you go to another station, you load all the product and send it. You don't need to see the person physically to do this. But now everything has become manual. So it is high time we sit our business community down. You see, when there is efficiency, it naturally increases productivity. And when productivity is up, sales will go up, revenue whatsoever will go up. Now we can afford to open more businesses. And that is how we create the employment and reduce the unemployment in the system.
Okay, so it seems we are basing more on financial aspects. But I would like us to talk about healthcare as well. Looking at Mankisim, Oba, a hospital, a South Pond Government Hospital. And I quite remember that was a week ago. The call with me team, one or two inquiries, and then Omunkunya and bed maybe more challenges. So, you are being elected as an MP for the constituency, which is in Fantimai. What are you advocate for on behalf of the constituency?
Okay, thank you very much. And I believe that we all owe it a responsibility to improve development in our community. And I like the fact that you brought healthcare in there, because today, if I should fall sick, I think the nearest hospital is the Sopon Hospital. And Mangasa Mako, it's quite sad, the situation we see there. I've mentioned that one of the key things I want to do for Infantima is industrialization. We don't have much factories here, and corporate social responsibility will help us to be able to develop Sopon Hospital, but we don't have much factories here. So what I can say is, instead of depending on government budgets, I'll use myself as a key lobbyist, which is the member of parliament. I have to get partners from abroad. Once I go out there, I tell people that I'm a member of parliament here, I need help and all that. It makes it much more easier. And I have a lot of business people who also like to come down and help. Now, there are a lot of companies as well in Ghana who also want to get involved in activities like this, especially the mining companies. God being so good, we have the lithium, Atlantic Lithium here. Atlantic Lithium want to devote 1% of their top line. That's their total revenue.
Big time.
Oh,
this might can land us.
They say just that they have interest in our land, so we will have a discussion and see how it goes.
So definitely your share will be in.
Oh, I mean, it's for the family. So I'm part of the family. So definitely, I'm not the only one.
And now you are the father for Infantimine. The moment you are being elected, automatically you are father to all.
I
So
want
that
everybody
yes,
to.
you know your family. So as
I
of your
understand. I
belly.
understand. I want everybody to benefit from the lithium,
Sure.
irrespective whether you are a casual worker, indirect, whatever supply. Everybody should, you know. And you guys, I think, should seize the opportunity to get to maybe the country manager and interview him so
Oh,
that he will
okay.
give a perspective on
Sure.
exactly what they intend to do. It's something very, very interesting. Maybe I'll talk to him to sponsor you guys your program.
Fantastic.
You know,
Nice one.
because I think it is more youth driven, and they also have allocation for stuff like this. So I think fast forward, I've been able to indicate a few, but healthcare is very, very important to me,
Sure.
and I won't wait for government to come and support me. I'll move around the world and make sure that I get access to, if it is funding or grant or whatsoever, make sure that I'm coming in, whether it's dental seats or it is beds or it's whatsoever. If we have to make sure that we are building new, we have new wards to serve the place. But the concentration shouldn't only be for Salt Pond Hospital,
Sure.
because sometimes when you are in Abiazi area, even in Mankisin, it becomes quite problematic when you are not well or you are critically ill. They can't bring you all the way. So we have to identify areas that gaps for her and see what we can actually develop. What I would say, the government or the state will do its own, but as when elected as a member of parliament, I also have equal responsibility over the people to make sure that they are thriving, their health care is top notch, and we are not just depending on what government is actually bringing in.
Okay. So let's talk about accommodation of the nurses. You see, most of them are from a far distance, and sometimes when they comes around, it seems the hospital don't have quarters for the nurses. So with this, what will you be doing about it when you are elected as an MP for this constituency?
That's a very good business opportunity
Yeah,
for all of us.
sure.
So if the government doesn't provide, I'll just build a, I don't know whether to call it a hostel or to build a what. Like I said, we have land, so you know.
Land not is here, the thing in our Bible too.
No, you're finding to lithium.
Eh.
No, you're finding to
Oh,
lithium.
okay.
I think they will probably take about 100 acres. We
Oh,
will
okay.
still have 326. So the issue is the Odomna family is they have a sizable number in Nankasero. They are about 60 something, 70%. What also you know, and Nankasero is only Achimfunity. Yeah, so this what you just mentioned is a very good opportunity, you know, for the private sector to come in. And like I said, I'm also a business person. So if we're building hospitals and all that, and people are not getting the place, quickly, I'll go and do some 7 story building and rent it to them. It won't be for free. Yeah, I mean, we all have to make money to support
Sure.
society, so we'll do it. But at the same time, I believe that there is a lot of edifice that we can actually convert. If you look at what Mr. Atu Suman has just up here, he just sitting there doing nothing. So we can have an engagement with him. Maybe we advance 20% to him. Then we see how to structure the payment and all that. But Infant Man is so blessed. I mean, when it comes to this, it shouldn't be a problem. If you are going to Brewa, there is an edifice sitting at the top. I think it was mathematical sciences, something. I think Professor Lute put it together.
Yeah.
Then we have the Fisheries College, and as if Anomabo Fisheries College or what. Why can't we put all these 3 portfolios together and call it Infantima University?
Okay.
We can have different campuses. So the Fisheries College will be doing fisheries. These people will be doing sciences. The one here will be doing business and mining related courses. But put the 3 together, that's Infantima University. That is putting Infantima's name out there and up there. All the capacity building will go through that place. We can train nurses, we can train doctors, we can train lawyers. This place becomes like a tertiary constituency and at the same time a mining constituency. This ripple effect will create a lot of employment because the universities will employ people to do the work. At the same time, homes. See, I brought Sarkodie here. People came all the way from Kumasi.
Sure.
I know boys in South Pond who left their rooms. They rented their rooms. Yes, because they rented one night for 100 cities. They rented their rooms. I'm telling you for a fact. I know my boys. I'm a South Pond, so I know what I'm talking about. Yeah. They rented their room. They didn't sleep. Some of them went to sleep in their girlfriend's house. Yes, they wanted to make the money. So, like I'm saying, when there is this business opportunity, the community is going to thrive. Imagine You have this Infantima University rolling. You have this Atlantic Lithium business also booming. Then there is a one or two factories running. You can imagine how Infantima will just flourish.
Sure.
And all these things can happen through leadership. If you have good leadership, they will lead the conversation, and all these things will happen.
Okay, so now let's base on education as well. When you look at Infantima, it seems like always we have our focus on the senior high level.
Yeah.
But one thing is, they say education is the key to success, and we start from the basic level. When you become an MP, what will you do to improve the student from the basic level up to the senior high, then we get to the tertiary as well?
Okay. God being so good, I schooled here. I actually attended Sopon Anglican School.
Oh wow!
Yeah, before I got the opportunity to travel to the UK on scholarship.
So from basic school
to secondary school, Tema secondary school, before I went to the UK.
UK.
Then from the UK, I came back to University of Cape Coast to do mathematics, statistics, economics. Then from there, I went to Germany to do my MBA in international trade. That's why I learned international finance, international accounting, international business law, and all that. Then I have 12 banking college certificates. I have workshop certificate from the International Monetary Fund.
That was last year. I went for Ghana Youth Awards, their event. So I was there and they were giving your attribution. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
So we have all these people in Infantima.
Yeah, of course.
Wow, fantastic.
There's that in Infantima. People like us, society, will not like us to thrive. Yeah, and that is the bitter truth. So we believe that wherever we've been should be an inspiration to people.
Oh, okay.
Yes, we want to use ourselves to be an inspiration to people, not to use ourselves to bully our way or to bully people. I don't have time for that. The most important thing is I want a kid to look up to me and say, oh, Mifi Infantiman Korsah-Brown has been able to do it. I actually want kids to be better than me. I know my bar is very high. My CV is 9 pages. It was 12. I reduced it to 9. Wow. But I want kids to look up to me, and I want kids to be better than me. How many people want to see that or do that? That they want other people to be better than them. I'm not selfish. I've raised the bar to a certain angle. I've even been to New York. I've lent a trade settlement. I've been all over the world because of education. Wow. So education is very dear to my heart. One of the things I want to do is to provide scholarships to kids. And I'm talking about deprived kids. I want kids from Ankafo to get scholarships and travel abroad and learn and come back and impact, and not to go and live there, to come back and impact society. I want kids in Abiaze Dominasi to get scholarships, to travel abroad, come back and impact society. I want kids in Wakrom. I want kids in Imprinchi. I want kids in Kwakrum and Ishru. You see, I'm not mentioning the big towns. Sure. In Akwansho, Emisa Krum, Ekrofo, I want all of them to be able to travel abroad, come back and impact society. That's what I'm looking for. So I will be the channel to open those doors, or to open those keys, or to give those opportunities when I'm giving them, because every MP gets the opportunity to offer scholarships. Okay. And I think I've mentioned, so that is actually for the basic level right to the secondary school. You see, I always I have a lot of lady friends, and sometimes they complain about their boyfriends, and I tell them this: a man cannot give you what he doesn't have. A man cannot give you what he doesn't have. In Infantiman, what do we have? We have education up to secondary school. Marxism Sectec, Methodist High School, Infantiman girls. Do you have a university here?
No.
Okay, so what is the source of inspiration? Imagine a kid living in Infantiman and another kid living in Apioska in University of Cape Coast. One muhwana na obenya inspiration to go to the university. Exactly so. You understand? The community here is offering up to secondary school, so you have a lot of secondary school graduates. Yes. But if you go to Apioska, I found when na university na lo si once I said, so they will go and lobby and put the kid in the school. I had a lot of mates whose grades were not really, really good, but they were sitting in class with us. Why? Because university is once I said. You understand? Exactly. So one of the key things I want to do, and I want to push for, and I don't want anybody to say it is impossible, because it's happening elsewhere. We want to make sure that we get a tertiary school in Infantiman, being it training college, being it university, being it technical university, being it nursing, whatever. We want to have it, because we've produced a lot of learned people from Infantima.
Sure.
Professor Iramade, that's my long-standing auntie from the 1923 in Egobado. Professor Lote is one of them. Sayako Korsah is my great-grandfather. We have had a lot of scholars, but we don't have any tertiary, we don't have any university. So the kids, they just only look up to secondary school level and they are done. Unless you have some parents who are very pushy, and you understand. And this same education, I know it's really close to the heart of the lithium people. They want to invest some very good money in there, but they want a trustworthy leader so that they can sink that investment into his portfolio and do it. And I'll make emphasis again, trustworthy leader, so they can do this partnership and move the conversation forward. But I think Infantima deserves it. Ejumakun has a university campus there. Infantima doesn't have. Ejumakun has a large-scale factory. Infantima doesn't have. You understand? So we need leadership. Leadership is everything. If you have to turn the system around, it doesn't have to be like we are just waiting. It has to be deliberate. It has to be deliberate. Deliberately, these guys have been digging the sand in Infantiman. We never knew that we had lithium here. I've lived in Infantiman for more than 30 years. I never knew there was lithium here. That place, the baby away, me and Kumpo Yufu, we never knew there was lithium. These guys have come to do manhunt for 6 years. They've discovered lithium. You understand? So it has to be development is a deliberate attempt to change status quo from the unknown to the known. That is what development is all about. But to say we are just waiting, we are just waiting. You are waiting for who? Are buying to come and develop you? No, it won't happen throughout your lifetime. So we need leaders like us to push the buttons.
I do it so young mom in Tama because what's me out can imagine BBC say somebody to be like, oh, so you need if we don't need a buying, then why not say 1 year or bra only a buying? See, obese baby so with this no answer on the
okay, so like I've said, me I've not waited for a buying. What I'm saying is I've already started doing it, and I told you there is no aspirant in Infantimana where you know to come to boreholder. Nobody, no aspirant there before being your position. Where you know to come 40,000 Ghana cedis. You go to borehole for what? Then another thing is I've not done once, I've done it twice, so that's 80,000. I've done a lot of development projects, but my capacity is up to a certain level. Okay, if they like, they should give the member of parliament position to somebody and rather give me the benefit of the member of parliament, so I can use the benefit to go and lobby. And I can't go and sit in parliament and go and lobby them to give tax waivers to businesses. No, you understand? And when I say I'm not waiting for a buy, I'm saying that I'm not waiting for government or let's say the president to now come and give me something here in the constituency. But when I get the position, I can use those incentives and those privileges to now move around the world. In the MP, I want to offer diplomatic passports. You can travel around the world without visa. As I sit here, I have US 5 years. I have UK 5 years. I can travel anytime I want. But the issue is, I'm not a member of parliament. I can't go and sit in New York and tell people that they should come and give me money to come and develop Infantiman. You understand? Imagine I'm sitting here and the MP is sitting here. Give me money to develop Infantiman. MP saying, give me, who are they going to give money to? MP. Exactly. So it's a very straightforward answer. You understand? As a private person, there is much you can do at a time. So
okay,
we pray.
Honorable, I can't be bringing, and then ocean some more can any researcher, ya fan what to say, the okay, he's capable of doing it, but maybe someone honorable same way. You can't transparency. If you are okono, you won't go for Kubia or Musha, like almost push you. Amobua mabibia akoso waye bi ona bukodu top no na sa nkrofo no wayi o mama na say wayi nani amom den ne beba na wakodu top no mpanyimfo bi a ne omonam no bema wayi weni edi amom.
I think that in politics being trustworthy is everything.
Sure.
Monko family honam nya wenye musuban, and I don't think anything is going to change when I become a member of parliament. I mean, I always say that I always have control over the power. The power doesn't control me.
But I asked this question based on one thing. Okay. Maybe in about transparency, say we are could do a brain, Obaba be busy because you see how your national asset will be in here. So mini infantimine or two coin, Moshe Mechimam, and at the end of the day, we realize things are not going on well for you. With these people, only one started from the beginning. Are you going to still work with them? And I say, so when they critique,
Okay, I get, like I'm saying, I always say that I was born into a family, but I belong to the world. This is something I learned when I went to Germany. So when you are born into a family, yes, you are born into a family, but you belong to the world.
Sure.
Kwame Nkrumah was born into a family, but went ahead to Egypt to marry Fatia and wanted to unite the whole of Africa. You understand? So what I would say is transparency is key. Even for my polling station people, I've told them that every year we will give them our statements. We want them to see money that has come in and money that has gone out. Okay. You will definitely have love for people who follow you. But at the same time, you also have to be a blessing in disguise to them. So you have to make sure that they are doing the right things. You have to make sure that their capacities are well built. You have to make sure that when people see them, they see you in them. Because if you, the leader, your attitude is different and your people's attitude is different, then it's a big problem. I hope you get where I'm coming from. So anytime they work, they have to work in your light. I'm somebody who doesn't like cheating people. I'm somebody who will not just ignore your concern when you bring it. I like to put things as they are. So I mean, for whatever you just said, what I can tell you is you should trust the process. Nobody is going to take the system for granted.
Okay.
And especially when it comes to the political space, anything that comes from government is for polling station people. Whatever probably comes from me is for my people because I'll go and fight. I'll make something. Our people will definitely benefit. Polling station people also benefit. But rest assured, the constituency is going to be run by the polling station people. Not as for us. We are going to be administrators to make sure that the right things are actually being done. I will not be the ordinary politician just to be showing people. No, that's not what I intend. We can actually have cautions and whatever. Sometimes, what's the more the nature? They understand. And if you look at my capacity and you look at somebody else's capacity, there are things that I might think that the people should know. But probably the person that doesn't have that experience. So it means that the person will definitely have a flaw there. Of course, we are all humans and we understand. But when the sin is deliberate, like there is a slot that is supposed to go to an electoral area, you want to go and sell that slot, that one, you have a big problem. That one, you have a big problem with me because in my time, I've told my people there is not going to be any sale of slots. I can go around and get the contract and make money and give you some. I mean, my people, those following me, I want to support them because they really supported me. They've been very efficient, so I'll definitely support them. But the things that belongs to the polling station people, like I've said, not police slaughter, but now the immigration slaughter, but no be akoton no. That why it won't work, uncle. Under my watch, it won't work.
Oh, okay.
It won't work. Yeah, I know myself. When I say it won't work, it won't work. Yeah.
Maybe na the brass star be feel. Ala.
Obeka Black Star say what I say, Charlie. Black Star there.
Okay, honorable Adwani I fear brass star for asem you, yeah. But I think say I don't see a part of it. But honorable maybe say what are your plans for community involvement and engagement in decision making process?
Yeah, so when elected as a member of parliament, and this thing a lot of people don't do it. You have to get information from the people and send it to parliament so that they will deliberate on it. Recently there was an issue with school feeding program, for instance. So you have to get enough feedback and take it to parliament for deliberation. At the same time, whatever happens in parliament, you have to come and give briefing. It's one of the things I want to do. So if I have to do community deliberation by direct engagement, I have to do it. If I have to do radio because I believe Infantman is big, I have to do it. But if I have to divide Infantman into 4 and do zone by zone, I have to do it. But the most important thing is the information I have to get to the people. Somebody can recommend something that can actually change my life for the better. You understand? So I always have to be out there and engage our people and make sure that the right things are being done. And the people also have to be part of decision making. They have to be part of the governance. When people vote for you, it's a social responsibility or it's a social contract. They have given you a job to do. You also have to make sure that they are getting job. You have to sit every time and deliberate that, them. If they have an input, they give you an input. Okay, them. When you guys work together, the expectation is always very high because they know that Charlie, that something will come to a fruition. But when MP Namha and the populace are also somewhere, anytime you meet them, there is so much question because they are not involved in your development process. So community engagement for decision making is very, very important and eminent, because that is when people can also take ownership of the development portfolio in the constituency. So I'm going to be an ambassador for that. Yeah, for that engagement.
Okay. Honorable, I got to know say for now no okwa parliament one my your seniority wo mu. So ebia this is your first time and oko house one ma oko cry say what na echi ebi kura mpa the private crazy wenim. That mean unya bold into me nkasa wo honom. So with this no with your 4 years me fancy yeah, let's see and then you're going for 4 years for now. Should the community expect all their needs to be done within that 4 years? And if not, and so what assurance will you be giving to them?
Okay, I think it's a very good question. I've said it here and again that what government brings is what government brings to the budget. What you have control of is your interaction with the private sector. And at the same time, what you're able to use your position for.
Okay.
You understand? So if you go to parliament, people will say there is seniority. Kojo Oponkroma is my mate in University of Cape Coast. When he did his first time, he did marvelous. Somebody like Abu Jinapo is a first timer. Isn't he doing marvelous things? Somebody like John Kuma is a first timer. Isn't he doing marvelous things? Okoboy was in parliament for just one term. Didn't you see the things Okoboy did? Asabi was in parliament for just one term. I've said that there is no excuse for failure. I mean, that's all I say. There is no excuse for failure. If you fail, we can give you 1,000 terms. You fail. There are people sitting in parliament today who have not, I won't say they've never spoken, but you can see that they are very, very, exactly so.
Some of them
so it's not the number of terms that you will go. Today, somebody said on air that sometimes, you know, I'm telling you, me, when I was in the bank, as young as 24 years, I used to do presentation to our board of directors. You have to master confidence. Once people have voted for you to go and make decisions for them, you have to master confidence and take their problem to parliament so that those problems will be solved. But sure enough, you see people, you see Abambame, you are intimidated. You see this person, you are intimidated. You don't deserve to be there. And they're human beings. They're human beings just like you. You get what I'm saying?
Sure.
Yeah. So whether you're a first timer, you're a second timer, you're a third timer, you have to master confidence. Because the salary that they give to Oponkoma is the same salary they give to you. So you people are all there to serve the nation. If you don't speak, somebody else will be doing the speaking and taking all the development to his or her constituency. What happens to Infant Man? You get where I'm coming from. So that is why we have to make sure that the right things are being done. You go there, you take the issues, you speak to the issues, recommendation is being served. You see the development in your constituency. But if you say that, parliament, sometimes because you them in so we call parliament, which people do you expect to see there? Is it primary school people? No. You expect to see other members of parliament. So they are speaking their language, you speak your language. It's as simple as that.
Okay, yene honorable edim komo bebre na bebi adu bebi a ehun hia me paye na ehun hia the youth of infantimine. Esan say e ba infantimine dia entertainment dia nim say ade a ye ni je ho paye, and then me being an entertainment host in no I was saying that many papa di ho komo. We know papa to be one of the prominent people a eba entertainment and ni di echi paye. Honorable nyame boa na ye to aba ne ma na obeye MP from Fantimanya. Ye entertainment aye de wo hobi Fantimanya good talent e wa ha paye oba ha na hu young guys omo tonjom omo sa eni ade a ye de eye Ghana kwa echi kakra, but at the end of the day ni ye nya push bia to ba then na wo ya boy youth na omo guitar talent.
I mean American no it's very, very true. Fantman were lots of talent. And one of the Adam here especially for festivals. Now we take over one street carnivals. Now my Adam the one artist or not two artists able to because some pedamic attention. But then the main focus was to expose Infantman was in performers, dancers, art guys, musicians, and all that. And every time you carnival, you could see that Infantman for perform were more than 30.
Sure.
They have maybe one or two A-list artists passing through. We do that because we want to create that exposure for those people. Sure. Wherever they go, they can actually be identified. I've done so much for the entertainment industry. I was the business manager for Sarkodie. I actually did Sarkodie's branding in 2007, 2008,
Wow.
up to when he won his first album with Mache. I actually scripted Mache. I actually helped him or supported him to do some of the songs. Boga Boga was one of them. Boga Boga, Sarkodie had never traveled before, and I had traveled, so I had to help him to write the Boga Boga song. So I've been heavily involved in a lot of projects. Ghana Youth Awards, I'm the board chairman. We actually crafted the 3 music awards because we realized that Ghana Music Awards had a monopoly. They wanted to give them a monopolistic competition, and we managed to do that. I mean, I ran it for 5 years, and unfortunately, when I left, I don't know whether it's still running or it's not running. You can see that they're having challenges. So we've done so much for the entertainment industry. However, in Infantiman, there have to be funding to support the arts. I realize that there is no funding to support the arts.
Sure.
And when there is funding to support the arts, we'll be able to unearth it. We will be able to connect it properly with the arts portfolio in Ghana. Because I know Ghana Export Promotion Authority and Ghana Investment Promotion Authority and all those agencies, they support arts very, very well. Even there is a Ghana enterprise agency that is also supporting arts. When I have that position, I can lobby and bring those investments to Infantiman. It will be good for people to be having or doing good videos, and we tell them that hey, when we are doing a good video, we want to have a product placement. My brother John Gray eventually will start doing product placements. TBR local, Obonyoma, you will see John Gray's water being served, or there is a bottle of John. Like they do, I can see some of the products being exactly. So we can, there is so much we can do. And it's also the industry needs a lot of capacity building.
True.
You need business people to run the art. Art is not just about talent. Talent is just 30%. Okay? You know Twister.
Sure.
You know Twister. You know Jay-Z.
Jay-Z, yeah.
Okay, let me even take Jay-Z out of the picture. You know Twister. You know P.
Yeah, PDD. Yeah.
Who is richer?
PDD.
Okay, why is PDD rich? Twister raps better than PDD.
Yeah.
But PDD is richer than. You understand?
Maybe they have some secondary.
It's called, a white man calls it leveraging.
Okay.
Using your image or your intangible assets or your brand to create other business avenues.
Oh, nice.
Okay, and that is what PDD actually does. You get me? Twister raps so hard and so well, but doesn't have that particular leverage. So that is the kind of leverage I want to bring to Infantiman, to make sure that we are creating business people within the art. So you have a business manager or a business person managing an artist like Kofi Gaisen. Okay, today you hear Kofi Gaisen has done endorsement for a certain company. It will have to be brokered by the business manager. You hear Kofi Gaisen organizing a seminar. It has to be brokered by a business manager. You see Kofi Gaisen doing a road safety campaign, and he has endorsement or he's been paid so much by the Ghana Road Fund. Like those kind of things have to be. It all helps the branding of the artist, and in doing that, you also make money to shoot your videos and do other things, produce your album and all that. So, I mean, one of the key things I actually want to do is to make sure that at least I sponsor one album per year.
Wow.
You know, I'll just try and handpick an artist and just sponsor your album for the year, for 1 year. So I'll just pay for a couple of things, and you know, but I want to be very instrumental and make sure that I'm using my position to enhance the art, which is very close to my heart. 2 key things that are very close to my heart is financing and art. You know, even though I like the other periphery, but financing and art is always very, very dear to my heart. So that I believe that we can take this constituency to another level. We want to produce a lot of very good artists. And it was actually on my portfolio or on my stage that Kwamina MP was exposed, if you remember. It was in Southport.
Sure.
And he was introduced to Stage by Stage A. And I brokered that connection. So he came in and he did very well. And eventually his song went viral. So those are the kind of things I want to do. And you see, when you become a musician, it means you have created employment in that shell. You understand? Exactly.
And then for the Infantiman entertainment industry too, one of our biggest problem is having a conference hall for programs and other stuff. And I don't think Infantiman we have one.
Are you sure?
Sure.
We actually do.
We don't.
We actually do.
Which one?
You see, I've been saying that the state cannot build a conference hall in all the 275 constituencies. We just have to make good use of our space. Have you been to Manor Heights Conference Hall before?
But that one is for private sector.
No, but public sector to you pay.
Yes,
You're talking about availability.
Yes.
You're talking about availability, isn't it?
Yes.
Availability. So we have it available. Maybe it's the affordability that we exactly. So that's why I'm saying that if we have a good enterprise or we have very good business portfolio, we can have this engagement. You think when I'm an MP, I can't call Mr. Fredora and say that we want to have Infantman whatever awards and they should sponsor and they will say we should just pay 10% and we can do it. It's a justification. You understand? We can do it. I know eventually things are going to change because a place like COS Park eventually want to, see how we can lobby and we turn it to a very good like ultra modern park which can be used for events like big events. You can have a Shatawali host a show there, and in fact my population is almost 200,000 and the youth are just about 120. A lot of people will patronize that event. People come from Cape Coast and all that. You see, most of my events are actually free. I don't take anything. I know a lot of artists who want to come and have events here, but the issue is venue. They don't have a very good enclosed venue, and there are a lot of venues. I've seen a lot of venues around that. I think people have to do some more work and more stage because I know a lot of venues around that we can use.
The only venue you can mention of is La Femme, the Manor Heights, and La Femme can occupy almost not 200.
No, La Femme can't be used for that. Yeah. I go to what's the name? Mankisim Connect. Almost all their events. It's quite recently I've been busy.
Yeah.
But I was part of their event, and they're also doing a wonderful job.
And so I think this went to Obatampa Entertainment Center, and for that one,
it needs some renovation. Yeah. Obatampa needs some renovation. But like I'm saying, we have some edifice that we can look at. I mean, if I get a nod, there is so much I want to do in that space, so that we can do so much in Infantman here. There, I always tell people that I'm a leader that converts problems to opportunities. When people see issues as problems, I see them as opportunities. Like you said, nurses, they don't have a place to sleep. Other people will say that it's a problem. I see it as a business opportunity.
Sure.
Yes, once we have the nursing training college, there is the land there. We'll just go and build it. And if you have ready market, they all come and rent. So I don't see it as a problem at all. It's rather an opportunity.
So, Anna, do you think our media houses are helping us promote our young talent in Infantiman here? And if not, what implication are you putting in place so that whether you have a talk with them or you have some agreement with them in order to push our music?
That's a very good question. But it all borders on responsibility. Are they legally obliged to promote the young talent? Because the media companies here, I actually don't see any state-sponsored media company here who has the moral responsibility to do it or the legal responsibility to do it. So these are private companies, and they are selling only one product called the airtime. Airtime is very expensive. So it's quite difficult to actually judge because I don't know their corporate direction. But the issue is your space, that's the entertainment space, have to find a way to forge partnerships with them. Because as somebody's company, you want an opportunity. So you have to go and have an engagement, and sit properly and have a job. Because sometimes they also have some placement. They also want some placement on your platform. So I can mention an example, maybe Kingdom FM or Korbis FM or let's say Coastal. Maybe their morning show, they want it to be carried live, but they don't have the facility to carry it live. So you guys can go in there and offer them that service at zero. And at the same time, when people also have an event, you want it to be carried live on radio, they can also do it for you. I think it's all about having that partnership or that synergy. And in the same way, if an artist is having an event or wants to have an event, for instance, you have to go and engage them. Like for me, I would say 98% of the entertainment event that I've organized in Infantiman, they haven't charged me anything for it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I roll my jingle and everything. It depends on how you have the engagement because you also want to have leveraging. So I think the most important thing is you have a proper engagement with them so that there is an understanding of a sort. When there is an understanding of a sort, it makes that corporate relationship very, very easy. But we shouldn't think that I like to say the bitter truth, because if you have bought your airtime, like you have your sensitive. Nobody can actually dictate to you how you should use it. No artist can come and force you to air their video because you are not legally binded by it. So I think we should take the conversation up. But however, what I'm going to do is when I get a nod, of course, I can use my position and my contacts to do that. I can always call them and say, "Oh, Munya know me, them, you know." That one I can always do it, so that at least one of the things I want to see is there is enough cohesion or enough synergy between us and the business districts in the constituency, so that we can sell Infantiman together.
Kwesi opinion bi amene ni di nkomo me to me boni di due to one or two reasons, and he was like Infantiman kita talent, and then sisi a me wo hoyi I will make sure say ebenya studio e dia mo ntumi afford that private studios no say na ebe yo so betimi abo mo modin no makọ mo ni since then up to date no ehu bibi asai. So me sisi a me ti ya na me producer approach me no say no mbisa say oba or something like that be possible for Infantiman. See ebenya studio at the end of the day young talent be only finance no betimi akọ private studios ni ade no obetimi agbawura ho ni record no, and so at the end of the day obetimi produce something.
I think it's a very good question, and time now I care about business now. I told you that in a place like Mankisi, you to me a ton sachet water for 50 pesos. Sure. But you Abiazi zona, you have to probably sell it for 30 pesos, even though the cost of inputs is the same. We've had a very good question. It's not all artists can actually get free service. Some artists are commercial artists. I mean, sure. If Kwame MP comes to my studio, I expect him to pay. Once he pays, I can get that funding as a compensation to sponsor my brother called T-Part in Charcoal because he doesn't have the funding. So yes, we can look at that opportunity, but all those ones are business opportunities we have to look at. You know, we would like to set up a very good studio here.
Wow.
You know, yeah. I mean, we would like to do it. We have very couple of people who will be interested to do a setup. I have a brother called Nana Brew. He's worked tirelessly in the showbiz space in Ghana. He will be very interested in that. I'm also very interested in this. So I believe that we can have not just a recording studio for music, but also a place you can shoot a very comfortable, beautiful place you can shoot a video, like a screen video. You know, like there is so much we want to do. So I believe that when we get a nod, we should be able to cross this particular bridge.
Okay, before then, me say me bisa say for you being chairman for youth Ghana Youth Awards no, Infantiman say your youth ni bi omo bo omo modern pa ye. What criteria ni ade beto akwama at the end of the day no omo so omo tumi hu omo ho o say maybe someone from Infantiman has been nominated for Ghana Youth Awards, because I can't remember say me fan bomb me some in Sambrania, and so far I'm the only person being nominated at Ghana Youth Awards from Infantiman. Really? And I'm glad for that. Really? So
your space was what? Entertainment?
No. Well, Media Personality of the Year.
Yeah, I think I have to congratulate you. I mean, yes, from that space, probably. I was also once nominated for finance, and I won. And when I won, they said the next year they were not going to nominate me because they want to make me the board chair. So that's how I ended up becoming the board chair. So I would like to congratulate you. I think it's all borders on projection. I've sat on boards where I want Infantiman people to win. We pull all the strings, but sometimes you see that the numbers actually doesn't work. And usually I want to be fair to people. You know, I mean, I can mention a lot of artists on big stages. They've been nominated because I have to, as board chair, I have to veto. But sometimes when they look at the numbers and the periphery, you could see that it's you know. But some are also equally doing well. Kwame MP and Co are doing well. So we should take their template and follow suit. You know, we shouldn't be too comfortable in Infantiman. You know, showbiz is a global language. So let's see how we can leverage on each other to push the numbers. So yeah, I mean, capacity building is very important. Once you're able to build capacity, people will know the direction to go. The branding, they will know how to do it. When it comes to financial structure, they will know how to put it in place. When it comes to PR and all that, you know, let me tell you a secret today. When I decided to manage Sarkodie, I did something that I've never done in my life. I took myself to school because I've never done media. Sure. I was at JIJ for 6 months to learn advertisement, marketing, and PR, because that's the space I was actually going into. So I have to I have to nourish my brain,
Sure.
you know. So I mean, people should also invest in the IQ so that it adds value to what they intend to do. Yeah. So I believe that we can. I hope we can get more nominations and more wins, you know, for Ghana Youth Awards and other periphery award schemes going forward. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Honorable. I think this is where we will end the interview. But before, give me your final conclusion, everything. Yeah,
So, I'm akwenye do na me friend obi aso obi ala ohwem bia ndemu ya nom no ho aba mi femi yezi nkoma mu yeham sabofo no do so amfa nchem ija se baka bofo kaka pidgin kaka but oye ho anwomba ho ofase won wofa Papa Korsah oye James Korsah-Brown na okese na yabobo nyama pido oye nyama odama akomodo dem pedem banam be ma fantinam na oye won fam pa bon fanta mechi what's the moon kete was the moon no as no nyakesa or the bomo. And for now we've started with what we have kakaya when you shall see in there. As time goes on, watching Yamne be member of parliament in Fantimana. You will use them brand in the name that you change me pia from Fantimana and Fantima when you need temper with her. To me the one I see. There was show on TV though.
Okay, you better be as is a number no share interview. I think there is more to come. And then Honorable is going to, you're going to PVP very soon. And after then, more talks, more improvement, especially entertainment. Honorable, we need the entertainment side. I was saying to my fire to my prefer. So subscribe to our YouTube channel, Centa TV, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and all the social media handles. To make come, bye bye. Give us a share.